Yo, what is up? What is up? It's King. We're back. We're in the building with another live stream. Welcome to the Coffee and Sports Morning Show. And I'm hanging out with my guys. We got Freddie. Freddie, what's going on, Freddie?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Glad to be here this morning with Coach Dante. We got Brad, a newcomer on the show. We got Key in the building. We're going to have a peaceful morning this morning because
And,
it,
and as always, we got my guy, Coach Dante. What's going on, Coach?
Oh, what's good, y'all? I'm ready to talk some football. Let's do it.
And Brad, how you doing today? What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. My Packers won, so I'm happy.
Ooh, yeah, they pulled out that win last night. But let's get into the nitty gritty of things here. So first agenda here, last night's game. You had the Bucks and uh, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. This game definitely, I thought it was going to be Mahomes and Kansas City was going to get the job done against Tampa Bay. 41-31, close game. But y'all thoughts about last night's game? Did Mahomes have to prove himself again to beat Tom Brady?
listen, that game, it came out to be close, but it really wasn't close. I don't think it ever got to a point where Kansas City was worried that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win that game. We've seen the Kansas City Chiefs come out there blazing. Patrick Mahomes coming out here, throwing the sidearm pass. They are running these special plays on offense. You can see the brilliance of their Eric Benenemy. Yes, I said him because a lot of times we give a lot of credit to Andy Reid, but we got to give credit to the offensive coordinator. I'm going to show him some love. The Kansas City Chiefs defense didn't make it easy for Tom Brady as well. Um, but I'm going to tell everybody, pump the brakes just a touch. Do not give up on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers just yet. And I'll tell you why later on. Let these two gentlemen get a chance to talk first.
Dante?
Well, man, like I say, Patrick Mahomes is that dude. He is that guy, man. He is, like I say, the best quarterback in the NFL. And he proved why last night. He proved why he's the best quarterback in the NFL for what he did. That jump pass was really, really good that he threw. That he threw in the back of the end zone. That was really, really nice athletic. I say he can make any wide receivers better out there, no matter if he has Tyreek Hill or anybody. He can make every receiver better out there.
Brad, what you think about last night's game?
To add on to that, because you guys both made really good points, I think what helped them as well is they got a nice balance from the run game that Chiefs team doesn't always have. Allaire went for 1992 and a touchdown. So, on top of the brilliance of Patrick Mahomes, I thought that the offensive coordinator finding a way to get Allaire and the run game going against a stout Buccaneers defense against the run, I thought that was the big X factor in the game. But Mahomes was also brilliant. Like I said, that jump pass was phenomenal. And yeah, that defense is playing much better than I thought it would look this year.
Everybody had their suspicions about Kansas City's defense, but I mean they did pretty good. Now let's talk about Tampa Bay side of the ball. Mike Evans just proves every year that he can be elite. Is Mike Evans still that problem on Tampa Bay's offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we clearly saw it last night, and this team is a better football team when Mike Evans is involved. Matter of fact, that offense flows better when they're targeting him. But that might be something that they try to get him going before anything else. Like, hey, yeah, a lot of times it's your run game to set up your offense. Hey, get pass it to Mike Evans a couple of times because what he's going to do, he's going to break the attention off of a Godwin. He's going to break the attention off of a Cole Beasley. He's going to break the attention off the Fournettes in the backfield. Get your tight ends open as well because he is the threat on that offense. And Mike Evans, like I said, like you said, 1,000-yard seasons every year in his career. Mike Evans is that dude, and he's still proving that he's that dude.
Dante?
This is a guy that don't get a lot of respect. This guy don't get a lot of respect from a lot of people. Everybody just forgetting about this guy, man. This guy, since he came in the league, he's been breaking 1,000 yards. So again, like Fred said, he does take that pressure off of Scotty Miller. He does take that pressure off Chris Godwin. Like I say, and if he gets double teamed, other guys are gonna be open, like the tight end Cameron Brayton and all of that, and it's gonna open up much of the run game as well with Fournette. But he's still proven to be good, man. Mike Evans is still to me, he's still a top 10 receiver in the NFL, man. This man broke 1,000 yards every single season, man. Don't you know how hard that is? A lot of people can't even get that, man. There's receivers out here better than probably that you consider better than him can't even get 1,000 yards every single year. Every single year since his rookie year, he's had over 1,000 yards. This man deserves more respect, and he has not been noticed as least a top 10 wide receiver in this league.
Hey, Coach Dante, because he's not just doing it, but just think about the wear and the tear that it does to your body.
Yep. Yep.
And I mean, and just look at the quarterback. It's not like he had Tom Brady as his quarterback all
Yep.
those years
He
as
had
well.
Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston been his quarterback most of his career, and he still go over 1,000 yards every single season. So yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with Dustin because you look at the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of people was questioning the move by getting rid of Tyreek Hill, but hey, right now it looks like they're smart. Their defense has elevated even more from the year that they won the Super Bowl. Their defense is stout. And hey, man, shout out to whoever decided to trade Tyreek Hill. It's time to give them some love. It looked like they know what they was doing by giving Patrick Mahomes more weapons. Um, so yeah.
I would say with that Chiefs defense, I think it helps that a lot of them are returning from last year, so there's a lot of continuity that they have. They all knew the scheme and everything coming in, and definitely with the loss of Tyreek too, they were good to right away turn around and add Juju and other weapons. So, not saying any of them are Tyreek Hill, but at least they made sure to replace some of Hill's production in that regard.
Man, shout out to Gene. Good morning, my brother. Are you in a better mood this morning, sir? I mean, I just need to ask.
Do you think Tampa Bay? So Anthony Price has the question. Do you think Tampa Bay's receiving duo would be a problem for Brady trying to get into the playoffs?
No, I just think by the end of the season, as long as those guys are healthy, Brady will have those guys ready. You have to remember the Godwin's not Godwin's gonna have to get acclimated back to the team. He's gonna have to get his footing back under him. I believe once that Godwin get acclimated, you have a healthy Julio Jones. You still have Mike Evans. You still have Cole Beasley, Scotty Miller, and those guys, and Fournette that they can catch at the backfield as well. I think as long as they're ready by the playoffs, I think they'll be okay. This is not a young team. This is a veteran team. Um, this is a veteran team, and they know what to expect. I mean, this is not a rookie quarterback as well. This is Tom Brady. So I definitely believe that they'll be ready.
So last night, we did see that Tampa Bay could not get their running game going. Would that be a problem moving forward? Because you can't just have 3 yards rushing total. You had 6 yards from White, and then Fournette was in the negative last night. Now Tom Brady threw for 52 times, almost 400 yards. Is that going to be an issue moving forward?
It all depends on that O line. We know that O line took a lot of banging before the season even started. It really depends on if they can get guys back and they're healthy and they start producing. Um, and you know, yeah, Gene, we could say the offense wasn't the problem, but when the first play of the game, you had a fumble. That definitely hurt. That definitely didn't help. But their offense, when they needed to answer, they wasn't able to answer. So at times that offense did go stale. I agree that defense could have. Hey, to me, the defense did did what they could do. You can only do so much to contain a Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion.
Brett, you want to answer that? There's going to be an issue moving forward.
Um, What was the question again? It was about the run game, right?
Your last night's the defense for the rushing game for Tampa Bay,
Oh,
3 yards. Fournette had negative yards. White only had 3 yards. So Tampa Bay total only had 3 yards worth of rushing. Is that going to be a problem moving forward to hurt them?
in the future, if they can't get their run game going, absolutely, those receivers can only do so much. Because if you can't get that run game going, then they're just going to lock down the receivers and let the defense just key in on the Godwin and Evans. So I think it'll absolutely hurt Brady. I don't think he can continue to throw for 50 passing attempts a game every game for the rest of the season.
All right, Dante, do you agree with that?
Like I said, I think they're going to start finding the running game. It's all up to the offensive line. If the offensive line can get a push up front, you just got to give credit to the Kansas City Chiefs defense last night. You just got to give to their run defense last night. But I don't think it's going to be an issue going forward. I think they're going to somehow get it going. Leonard Fournette is going to get going. I think they're going to get it going. That's going to make the Patriots tough. That's going to make the Buccaneers tough to stop. And I think they'll be good by playoff time. It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to always have his team ready by playoff time. So I think they'll get it going. Eventually, they'll get it going.
No. We all know Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. We all know Brady's Brady. But Brady definitely they'll get it together because they only 2-2 right now. So they're still trying to find their groove, but definitely you got to get Fournette in the groove of that offense. Maybe if their running game was better, you never know. They could have beat Mahomes last night, but like Anthony said in the chat, those penalties really killed them. So that is a momentum killer with the penalties. So Mahomes one up on Brady right now, but we'll see. You never know. They might meet back in the playoffs in the playoff, the Super Bowl scenario to get there. You never know. So. Have you looked at the Bucks coming up schedule? They might win 6 straight. Oh, well, since you got that, so let's look it up. So they got the Falcons, the Steelers, Panthers, Ravens, Rams, Seahawks. I mean, that's definitely possible that they can go run that table.
Hold on. The Tampa Bay's not winning those 6 straight, Gene. Calm down, sir. Calm down. You better be glad my voice is all messed up. I was yelling at a football game. But hold on. They'll win 5 of those 6. But they're not beating the Rams. Stop it. Then I agree with you. Relax on the Bucks because the Bucks is going to be okay. This is a Tom Brady. They have weapons as long as they're healthy in that O line, as long as their defense stay tack and they play much better defense. I definitely agree with you on that though. And Karam, I am calm, very calm right now.
Have you seen? Let's see the Bucks offensive line. I know they're depleted. It's not their main guys. We didn't know this. Stafford needs to learn how. Stafford needs to learn how to throw the ball to non-right receivers. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here that we have on hand. So that was last night's game. We're going to talk about the Monday night preview. We got Freddie's Rams going up against the 49ers. Freddie, since you are the Rams fan, we're going to go first. What's going to happen in this game tonight? Give us a preview.
Tonight, this is the night that my brother from another mother, A-Rock, will be eating some humble pie because the Los Angeles Rams is going to come in there and show y'all why they are back. They will be the back-to-back champions that they will be. Listen, Aaron Donald's coming out for blood. We know that he loved playing San Francisco, so he's coming out on a mission. Not just him, Bobby Wagner. Not just him. We're going to see Jalen Ramsey on the big time finally make some plays. And then on the offensive side, I would like to see them get in the run game a lot more, control the clock with Akers. And I'm going to go with the Rams on this one, 24-17. I believe that we get it done. Cooper Cup is going to have a hell of a night. Allen Robinson It's going to be our. We have a hell of a night, and I think we're going to win tonight.
Dante, what you think?
I'm also going for the Rams tonight, but I think the game gonna be close. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. If there's one team that know how to beat the Rams, it's San Francisco. I say again, I think it's gonna be close. Matthew Stafford has to protect the football. The defense has to get after Jimmy Garoppolo. If the Rams can stop the run game tonight, I think the Rams will be fine. You got to find a way to get Allen Robinson the ball. Allen Robinson has been non-existent for the Los Angeles Rams. So you got to find a way to get him the ball. I don't know if he's not getting open or if he's not catching it. I don't know what it is. He's got to find a way. He's got to find a way to get open, and Matthew Stafford's got to find a way to get him the ball. But Cooper Cup is going to be the key tonight. This running game is going to be the key with Cam Akers in the Los Angeles Rams. And it's going to be an interesting matchup between Debo and Jalen Ramsey. So looking forward to that. But I got the Rams win it in a close game.
Gene,
Sorry.
Gene, unfortunately, sir, your streak will come to it here because you will be wrong tonight, sir.
All right, Brett, what you think about tonight's game?
I also have the Rams winning it as well. I was thinking like 20-17 because those games are always close. Divisional games always get weird. But at the end of the day, I think the Rams have a lot more talent than the 49ers. I do like the 49ers offense better since Jimmy G took back over. I didn't really like what I saw too much from Trey Lance, but he was still, young and developing. Definitely, though, I got the Rams tonight.
Oh, definitely. We already know how the Rams. San Francisco is the Rams. They look like they are the Achilles heel for the Rams. So the 49ers definitely are going to play them close. But we got to see what Matthew Stafford does. Can he give the ball to other receivers other than Cooper Cup? Let's just see it. Well, I'm with Freddie. Do need to see the running game work. Cam Akers, whether it's Henderson. But we all know Cooper Cup's that guy. Let's just see if Stafford can spread the ball around. If Cooper Cup gets double teamed or somehow is not open, he got to look at the other receivers that is going to get open. You all know Allen Robinson is going to be on the other side to have to get open for him. So I definitely agree with y'all there. Sean McVay has only beaten the 49ers once during the regular season. He's 0-2 against them last year. If y'all remember that game, 23-21. Some of the comments here else. We got Jimmy G put up 10 points versus Denver and ran out of bounds for safety. And then we got Allen Robinson's not the right fit for the Rams. So, Freddie, do you think Allen Robinson is the right fit?
I just think Sean McVay needs to figure out how to get him involved in this offense. It's like start calling some plays like we did when OBJ was with us. That's my thing. We run the offense through Cooper Cup. At times it's too much. And at times I get scared for him. Be like, man, as much as we utilize him, I hope and pray that he don't get hurt. Because if he get hurt, hey, we in trouble. Because that last year that was a big knock against us. Saying we was one dimensional. That it was Cooper Cup or nobody else, and I just don't want to go back to that. So I really need Sean McVay to figure out how to get Allen Robinson involved in this football team, the scheme of this football team.
I think he will. Sean McVay is a brilliant coach. He always has been. Maybe start off, get some short passes to get him going a little bit before working him down the field more. And I do agree with that because you just don't want to solely rely on Cooper Cup. So yeah, I definitely agree with what you just said, Freddie.
Tom, so you think McVay will get Allen Robinson involved? I mean, he does have one touchdown this year so far.
Yeah, I think he'll find a way. Ultimate, he's gonna scheme up some plays to find a way to get him going. Like I say, I trust Sean McVay, man. He's an offensive genius, offensive guru. I mean, he knows how to put guys in the right position, and I think he's gonna definitely do it. And another guy people don't mention, and he's very good when he's on the field. Tyler Higbee, the tight end, he's gonna be key to opening up some things tonight. So again, I think he's gonna find a way. I trust Sean McVay. I think he's gonna find a way.
So do y'all think the game's gonna be close, blowout? What y'all think?
24-17.
It's gonna be close. I got the Rams winning by at least four.
It's a 3 point game, 20-17.
Okay, definitely gonna be close. Definitely gonna be defensive. We know, like
And
AF.
Tay Rock, you're gonna be crying when we do take care of our business, sir. Just don't hide like your brother. Oh, I mean, I didn't mean to say that. My bad.
Oh Lord, starting stuff
You know what? It's funny
already.
that his brother was talking in the chat yesterday because they won, but they can't. He can't do that when they lose, though. Okay.
That's an H. Well, look. Well, speaking of the Raiders, they get their first win yesterday against the Denver Broncos. So have the Raiders figured it out? Who wants to go first?
But let Coach Dante go first.
You said how the Raiders figured it out?
Yep.
No, I don't think they did. Not yet. I'm not gonna say they figured it out yet. Well, like I said, against Denver, Denver's defense is legit, so I do got to give them credit from scoring 32 points on them. But I don't, I can't say after the one win they figured it out. Yeah, we gotta see going moving forward. Have they really figured it out? Because they do got a tough matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs as well. So we're gonna see if they figured it out after that game, pretty much. But it was a good game from the Raiders yesterday. They did what they supposed to do. They won the game in Denver. Denver another got off to an actual slow start on the offensive side. Both teams did, but Denver's defense didn't help them do them any favors yesterday. And Josh Jacobs, he ran the ball pretty well. You got to give him credit. Josh Jacobs ran the ball pretty well. They stuck with the run game, and that was the deciding factor of the game, the running game for the Raiders. So gotta give them credit. They won that game. They needed to win that game. But we're gonna see what's gonna happen with the Chiefs. So I gotta slow down on that and have they figured it out. I don't think they did. Not quite yet.
I say I'm not 100% sold on it yet. Like you said, I need to see it a couple more times. What I did like about yesterday's game is they firmly controlled the time of possession. The only other game where they had a time of possession, they like led the time of possession was against the Titans, but it was 30 minutes and 45 seconds to 29 minutes, so it wasn't by that much. So it was nice to see them get the run game going. Jacobs went for over 100 yards, and I think that's definitely the key to winning. They need to get Jacobs going, and also getting him and Adams going at the same time, because Adams has had 2 games over 100 yards, and then all of a sudden 2 games where one game he had 36 and the other like 2 yards. So they definitely need to find a good balance and find a way to get Adams and Jacobs both going at the same time.
Ready?
Hell no, hell no, they haven't figured it out. I mean, what I'm looking at you guys is we talk about the Rams and Matthew Stafford and Cooper Cup, but it seemed like if it ain't Devontae Adams, Derek Carr don't want to throw to nobody. And Derek Carr, don't forget that you had other weapons before Devontae Adams that you was able to give the football to, but now it seemed like this Devontae Adams a bust. I mean, he had the most attempts you know, by far yesterday. Had and I mean he had 100 yards, but I mean, can we get a Hunter Renfro? Can we get him involved? Can we get
Well,
other
Winfrey
guys?
didn't play yesterday.
Well, I know I'm not talking about yesterday, Kim. I'm just talking about period.
Gotcha.
Um, with Josh Jacobs involved, can we get other guys involved in this offense other than Devontae Adams? I mean, that was the one of the biggest problems in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. Is that a lot of times when you feel like you have a Devontae Adams, you can force the football to him, and I don't want that problem to be down there for Raiders because if so, it's going to be a long year.
So what? So what's the issue with Denver's defense? We did see. I mean, not Denver's defense. Denver's offense. We did see Williams go down yesterday. Looks like that's going to be a serious injury, so he's going to be out. And then you got Melvin Gordon, who has fumbleitis. What do you do with that offense? So where is Denver going to lean to for the running game now?
Well, when you have a Russell Wilson, and if you allow him to be him, he can make plays. This whole problem is geared around Nathaniel Hackett. I'm not a big fan, as everybody know. especially anytime when you have to hire another coach to help you coach. Um, I'm not too big of a fan of him. I believe Aaron Rodgers covered up a lot of his greatness that they put on this man. In Green Bay. So I mean, to me, you use the running backs you got. If not, hey, let Wilson use his legs as well. Let him help create for the running game. To me, he's becoming too much of a stationary quarterback, not really running around, not really moving his feet around like we're accustomed to seeing. And we just need to see that Russell Wilson come back to fruition because right now, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to get scared for him right now. I'm starting to question like, hey, is Father Tom come up to you this early in your career, sir? Because I mean, it looked like you just all of a sudden forgot how to play football. You're not looking like the Russell Wilson that we all are accustomed to seeing. I'm just saying, it's scary right now.
Brett,
The
you want
big
to feed off that?
Huh?
I was asking Brett, did he want to feed off that?
Yeah, I'd say with the Broncos, the biggest thing it seems to me half the time is Nathaniel Hackett is still finding himself as a coach. He's not, calling timeouts when he needs to. He's not just managing the game properly most of the time. Also, it's just like getting back to the fundamentals like ball security. They've already lost, four fumbles. Melvin Gordon and Javante Williams have both fumbled the ball multiple times already. And I think it's just, go to practice, practice those fundamentals, take care of the football, and I think they'll be fine. And Hackett just needs to find himself as a coach, and then I think they'll be fine all in the long run. Russ is him. He's always been an elite quarterback. So they'll pull it out eventually, but it might take them a little bit.
Well, we all did see Mike Boone come in with Melvin Gordon, but Dante, where does this Russian attack come from? Should they do about the Russian game?
Right now, you got options. You got running backs that put the ball on the ground. I said they hurt them against Seattle. They were by the goal line. They fumbled twice back to back. Melvin Gordon and Javante Williams. Um, that's the problem. They're fumbling the football. They're putting the ball on the ground. When you hand it off to them, they're putting it on the ground. Um, Nathaniel Hackett looks like a deer in the headlight out there. Bad clock management, terrible play calling. Russell Wilson didn't even have a bad game, but it's his play calling, his lack of knowing how to use a damn timeout. And like Fred said, anybody you have to get someone in the booth to go up there and help coach the offense in the passing game, that's a problem. That's a problem right there. So Nathaniel Hackett, this is a Nathaniel Hackett problem. Also, these running backs got to hold on to the goddamn football. One thing a coach hates is fumbling the damn football, putting it on the ground, and these running backs not protecting the football at all. So when your offense is not getting going, your defense is going to get tired of being on that field. Your defense is going to wear down, and that's what it did yesterday. And that offensive line have to get better too. That offensive line ain't blocking worth damn on that offensive line, so they have to get better as well. Because Max Crosby was able to finally get off yesterday. So that offensive line got to get better. The running game has to get better, protecting the football. And Nathaniel Hackett has to be better in clock situations and knowing how to use a timeout, knowing how to call the right play at the right situation, knowing how to trust his quarterback. And like I say again, it's not looking good. Nathaniel Hackett looks like a deer in the headlight out there coaching, and that tells you that Aaron Rodgers was hiding some of his was hiding him the whole time, just like Josh McDaniel was hiding behind New England.
Coach Dante, I got to ask you a question, sir. I understand Russell Wilson had a decent game on yesterday, but are you not kind of concerned on how he looked this year?
Yeah, I am kind of getting a little bit concerned, but like I said again, I mean, it starts the coaching got to make better play calls and not mismanages timeouts, and the running game has not being able to get going. That's another problem. So again, they're doubling Cortland Sutton a lot. Jerry Judy is not a threat at this moment. He's not doing really much. Other guys got to get wide open. Other guys cannot get wide open, and the offensive line has not been really good.
Do y'all think Nathaniel Hackett, this is his one and done season?
Hey, if I was the Denver Broncos and they don't finish, at least if they don't win at least two playoff games this year because when you go out and you trade what you trade for Russell Wilson, that shows the world that you're trying to win now. That you're in win now mode. Like you're not here trying to build something for the next 5 to 6 years. You're trying to do what the Rams did last year. You trade for Matthew Stafford, you're going all in. So I believe they don't. I'm not saying they have to win the Super Bowl this year. You don't make a deep run and you look competitive, I think you do make a move. And I do believe that there's a coach out there in Pittsburgh by the name of Brian Flores that he can get an opportunity out there to coach. Sean Payton, he's available out there to coach. So if you can get guys like that to come in there to be the leader of your franchise that knows what they're doing, I definitely would let Hatchet, whatever his name is, go. I don't want to call him like Judge Hatchet. Y'all remember that Judge Hatchet?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
especially if you don't make the playoffs. I say if you don't make the playoffs, if you don't make the playoffs this year, you got to make a move. I mean, like Freddie said, you got coaches out there that deserve to be head coaches. Byron Leftwich was supposed to be the head coach of the Jaguars. He's another guy that you can consider going out though. A guy that's an offensive go. That's offense. He's very offensive minded, and he's a offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's another guy that will be quite interested for the Denver Broncos if he decides to get a head coaching job in this league. I think Byron Leftwich could be a solid candidate for the Denver Broncos, but if they don't make the playoffs, they don't make the playoffs. I think that's when you kind of make the move. You got to make the move.
Oh, and by the way, I would definitely look at Eric Bieniemy as well. You talking about a guy that can get that offense flowing? Hey, he's a guy that's in the same division, a guy that knows that hey, have a good mind on offense. You have a mobile quarterback, something that you're used to with Patrick Mahomes. There's a lot of things that you can do there, down there in Denver with him as well.
Yeah, because I know Eric Eric Bieniemy gets a bad rap. Him saying, "Oh, something's going on in the locker room." We did hear that Shady McCoy did say something about him. We don't know what goes on in that locker room because we're not in there. We don't got no cameras in the locker room, no flies on the wall. To say how Eric Bieniemy is. I just only heard Shady say something bad about him, so we don't know why he hasn't got a head coaching job in this league. But Brett, do you think Nathaniel Hackett's on the hot seat?
Absolutely. It's at the end of the day, it just comes down to he just doesn't seem to have it when it comes to the most basic of like coaching skills, just game management, calling timeouts, and if that doesn't improve, you got to get somebody in there that knows what they're doing. Like Freddie said, this is a win now team. It's not like it's not like we're in Jacksonville or Detroit where this is a developing team. No, they want to win right now. Then if Hackett doesn't show improvement by the end of the year, you got to get him out of there.
All right, I definitely can agree with that. I agree with y'all responses there. I mean, we just gotta see more from Denver, and we all know what type of quarterback that Russell Wilson is. Just want to see him do Russell like things. Just like he hasn't been able to do that in these last 4 games. So let's go ahead and move on here. I keep losing my list. All right, here we go. Up, Sean Ryan says Sean Payton. Definitely did name him as one of the definitely coaches. And then Payton said he will come back for the right team. So who's to say Sean Payton may not want to go to Denver? So who is to blame for this Ravens losing against the Bills? We definitely seen the Ravens was taking it to the Bills, and I was like, okay, Baltimore about to take this game. I come back and look at this score and then tied it up, and Buffalo ends up winning this game. So Dante, I'm gonna ask you, who is to blame for this loss here?
Well, Lamar Jackson with 2 interceptions. Got to play better football. Got to protect the football a little better. I'll say again, you don't have too much of a stacked offensive line. The Ravens secondary is not good. It's not good at all. But like I say, they're gonna put some of the blame on Lamar Jackson. He's got to hold some of that blame for why they kind of lost yesterday with those 2 interceptions yesterday. So again, Lamar Jackson is the leader. I'm going to take Lamar Jackson as the blame, and also the secondary is not even good. Kyle Hamilton has not been good this year. It's not been good at all. That safety that they picked out of Notre Dame, he has been getting burnt this whole season. So again, if I have to pick blame, I'm gonna have to blame Lamar. You said blame Lamar or the weather. I mean, he's out there playing in the weather. I'm not blaming no weather.
Ready? What you got? Who's the
I'm
blame?
blaming I'm blaming that defensive coordinator. This has tended to be a problem for the Ravens. And they going to make some adjustments, whatever they need, because I mean they can't stop a cold right now. I mean, then you do have to put some blame on Lamar Jackson as well because you guys was hot the first half, but the second half you got too comfortable, and Josh Allen did Josh Allen things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's you definitely can't turn the ball over when your defense is struggling. So I put blame on Lamar. I know the picks might not have necessarily been his fault. That fourth and third pick into the end zone, he kind of had to throw that one. And the other one was just like a tip drill, but at the end of the day, you still can't afford those turnovers when Josh Allen's rolling in. Your defense has given up 3 touchdowns all on long drives in the second half. So it's just a lot of blame to go all around. You can't really pin it on one person or one unit. It was just a mix of everything going wrong.
Mr. Anthony, I gotta ask you a question since you're in the comments, sir. Thank you for always tuning in. Thank you for watching the support and this giving us love. What happened to Washington on yesterday, sir? Just curious, just curious.
I don't know. Carson Wentz looked a little banged up.
He's done.
Yeah, the Commanders can't protect him. He holds onto the ball too long. That's part of it.
Oh, that's always been Carson Wentz's issue. Even when he was with Philly, he couldn't. He always hold on to the ball.
Did you really think?
No, Anthony, I didn't think y'all was gonna win, but I didn't think y'all was gonna look that bad. I mean, good God. I mean, I didn't think y'all was gonna look that bad. And then what's up with those ugly uniforms? I mean, y'all need to.
No, Freddie. Them Jones was fire yesterday. Them black jerseys. I do agree. Them black jerseys was good yesterday.
I'll give it to the Cowboys though. They've been finding a way to get it done with Cooper Rush under center. That's been really impressive to watch.
Brad, you don't know what you just did, sir. In any minute now, Big Time will be on this show and talking about the crowd that went wild and all that. Just give it time. You just woke him up. Oh Lord.
My bad.
I have to tell him to come in here, Doug. I mean, Freddie.
Oh Lordy.
Brett, did you go to see who was to blame for this game? Did you go?
No, which game? Yeah, I already said the defensive coordinator, and you got to put some on Lamar as well.
Brett, who's to blame for this game for Baltimore, and the Bills?
It was, like I said, it was just a mix of everybody. Really, Lamar can't turn the ball over, even though they weren't really necessarily his fault with the interceptions, with due to a tip drill and kind of just having to fling that one into the end zone. I saw what Lamar saw there. His receiver was open for a minute. Jordan Poyer just made a nice play in the end zone. But at the end of the day, you still can't turn the ball over when Josh Allen has already marched down the field against you for 3 scores all on a long drive. So just a little bit of blame goes around to everybody.
So AP says Rush not winning no games on his arms. It's his defense in the run game. Oh man, but that game was definitely crazy. All I do know is Marcus Peters definitely was not happy with Harbaugh yesterday. They had to tear them apart. So I don't know what's going on with the secondary and Harbaugh, but that loss was definitely on the defense. And when you got a lead up there like that on the Bills, you definitely can't afford for Josh Allen to come back the way that they were playing yesterday. So definitely that defense dropped the ball on that game yesterday for Baltimore. So you got to definitely hold that accountable because there's no way you have a lead like that and you let Josh Allen and the Bills come back on that. So Harbaugh got to get together. Just like Dante said, Hamilton has not been good, and they when they wasn't going to draft him because of how the Eagles moved up in the draft and got Jordan Davis. I believe Baltimore was going to pick Jordan Davis, so that's why they got stuck with Kyle Hamilton. But I'm sure there were other safeties that they could have gotten, but they saw Kyle Hamilton was still available, and they were surprised Kyle Hamilton dropped. Maybe this is why he dropped number 14 when he was supposed to go top five, in the draft. So that's definitely a possible. I mean, he hasn't really been. I mean, last week he was covering people, and then this week he can't. So do you think Kyle Hamilton will get together, Dante, or
Oh yes, I think he can get it together. He's just going through the rookie struggles right now. I ain't no knock on him. I mean, when you get in the NFL, you playing against better players. You playing against players that know better players. But again, I think he's talented enough. He's talented enough to get things going. I think eventually he's going to get it going. I think he's going to find his stride in this NFL. He's still getting used to the NFL.
Get about the safety for the Ravens.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I got
the rookie safety. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still young. I'm not worried about him yet. If his troubles persist for another year or two, then we can talk about this one again in his second or third year if it's continuing. But first year, no, I'm not really looking too much into it.
so will this defense hurt Lamar getting a contract?
you. No,
No.
No,
as long as he put up big numbers and he's doing what he's doing, he'll be just fine.
he'll be even if they are losing, even if they are losing, it won't. I say if he continues to put up big numbers in a way, even if they are losing, yeah, they won't. They will look at him. They will still look at him, and because he won these amount of games, but they're not going to look at. They're going to overlook what that defense have done, and this defense has been letting them down throughout the last couple of weeks. But if he continues to put up big numbers, yeah, I think he's going to get that contract. I don't think the defense dictates on what his contract situation will be.
All right, so we do have a question here. So, which QB is in a bigger mess right now? Is it Justin Fields or is it Daniel Jones?
Mm.
I'll say I've never been a
I'm
big fan of Daniel Jones, really. I know my one friend who's a Giants fan will hate to hear that, but Danny Dimes just can't seem to take care of the football. So I'm gonna go with him.
gonna go with Justin Fields. I mean, his offensive line is not good. The man gets beat up every single game. He runs for his life every single game. Darnell Mooney is not a number one wide receiver. He's a number two wide receiver. But outside of Darnell Mooney, you got nothing good that you got to look after. Khalil Herbert is a good running back, but he's not a good. He's not a number one running back. He's not a number one running back. David Montgomery is always hurt. Defense is promising. It's a little bit of promising on the defensive side, but you don't have an offensive line. You don't have an offensive line. Justin Fields cannot get comfortable in the pocket at all, and then you don't got a good receiving core. So I say Justin Fields is in a bigger mess.
Ready?
This is a loaded question. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say it's Daniel Jones, just for this reason. The New York Giants is a mess. It's a hot mess. It's a joke franchise. Let's be honest. I used to be a Giants fan. Used to be a Giants fan, rooted for him, and hey, but I left. I stopped being a Giants fan because after the Brian Flores situation, so I dropped them like a hot cake. But they've been a hot mess since Eli Manning was there, and it has nothing to do with Daniel Jones, by the way. Like I've continued to say it, this franchise has failed to put an offensive line on around their quarterbacks, Eli and Daniel Jones. You ask yourself, why does Saquon keep getting hurt? It's because you're not protecting the young man. Um, and then you draft a Kadarius Tony at the wide opposition. Then you have a Kenny Galladay. Uh, you have that issue going on right there. For some reason him and Dayball are not seeing eye to eye. It's just a hot mess. It really is. The only positive thing that they have going for themselves right now is they do have a respectful defense. and Saquon Barkley do look good right now. But I'm gonna say Daniel Jones is in a bigger mess. I'm not gonna say he's the mess. He's in a bigger mess because that franchise has failed to put anything around him.
I,
I'll say the thing that with the Giants too that worries me is they've managed to, the Saquon 770 rush yards. Well, not just Saquon, but the Giants in general. And then they turn around and they have the 31st ranked passing game in terms of yards per attempt, and so they're top half in rushing, bottom half in passing. And you would think with such a strong run game that they'd be able to leverage that into better opportunities in the passing game. But I just haven't seen it, so just like to see them improve that passing game more, especially since Saquon's having such a resurgent year.
so here's my defense on everything. I feel like Daniel Jones, none of his weapons can stay healthy. If Daniel Jones has all his weapons and his offensive line isn't that bad, do you think the Giants would be in the predicament they're in? No. But each year, Daniel Jones has to go out there with no weapons. Sterling Shepard can't stay on the field to save his life. He's always getting hurt. He reminds me of Victor Cruz. Because Victor Cruz was good now, but he couldn't stay on the field either. Galladay. Nobody wants to deal with Galladay no more in that contract. So who is taking that over? You got receivers who can't catch the ball. You got Slate. He can't catch the ball. They do have a promising tight end in Daniel Bellinger out of San Diego State. He's a rookie. So they got some promise there with him. But then Saquon. But the Giants' weapons can't stay healthy. So how do y'all want this man to succeed with all his receivers getting hurt all the time? And then you got Justin Fields. I just feel like the Bears are not putting him in a situation, in a situation to succeed right now. They don't have the receiving core for the Bears. They don't have the offensive line, but I always say next year the Bears will be better because they got no excuses next year to go out and get them pieces that they need to help out the team. $123 million of cap they can use to go out, and it's going to be a good free agent listing next year as well. So there will be no excuses for the Chicago Bears to go out and get them some pieces that they need. Not no big names because it's big names. It has to fit what they're looking for. Offensive line, receiving help, secondary. They have even a running back. They have to go out and get those pieces. So I'm not going to be really mad about the Justin Fields situation, but everybody talking about Daniel Jones. I bet you Daniel Jones goes to a different team that has weapons at offensive line. Daniel Jones is going to be good.
Yeah, that's a big part of it too. At the end of the day, they were both put on teams that just can't seem to get it together around them. So I do think part of both of them partially are not to blame just because they can't seem to get the proper weapons or weapons that stay healthy. So that's a really good point as well.
So if the Giants does not bring Daniel Jones back, who will pick him up? Who do you think?
Oh man. I think one team to look at is the Commanders. Carson Wentz, he's not their long-term future, but maybe they can take Daniel Jones and pair him with Scary Terry. If Jameis Winston doesn't work out with the Saints, like Anthony just said in the chat, that's another good spot for him too. Give him Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara. And another one is actually Mo just took Mo as another good one. And I agree with that one too. The Colts is another good spot. Matt Ryan hasn't always looked great this year. That team is just kind of meddling. So I could see him going to any one of those three spots and it working out much better than him in New York.
Dante, what do you think? Or if Daniel Jones do need a change of scenery and the Giants do not want to bring him back because they didn't pick up his option, where do you think he goes?
I think the Saints will be a good fit for him. I think the Saints will be a good fit for him. You can look at the Colts. They will need a quarterback situation going on. They never address their quarterback situation. They always want to go with a veteran, but they never draft a quarterback or get a quarterback developed. But the good thing about, like I say, the Colts, after Matt Ryan goes, I do think they got a very good quarterback in Sam Ellinger. I think they got a very good quarterback in Sam Ellinger over there from Texas. I think they do need to really give him a shot. He had a great preseason this year. But like I said, I would really like to see him with the Saints, with the New Orleans Saints. Like with the New Orleans Saints, I think that's going to help him out. That's going to help him out. They got a better offensive line. If you want to put him in some RPO situations, Daniel Jones definitely can run the football. So, yeah, I would like to see him with the New Orleans Saints.
Freddie, so we was talking about Daniel Jones, his new change of scenery if the Giants don't scoop him up. What's some good places for Jones to go to? Everybody's seeing the Colts, the Saints. We've seen Washington. There any other teams that you think he can go to?
Mm. Oh man, I think you guys hit it pretty good. Maybe if I had to choose another one, maybe. Hmm. Yeah, I'll say, yeah, I agree. I agree. I can't even think of something else. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, Tennessee could
The
be
reason
one.
why I said I was thinking of Tennessee, but they got that young quarterback. So I mean, I really,
I can definitely see the Colts because they always looking. They draft the quarterbacks, but don't want to see what they can do, and then they always want to get the old veterans. You seen Philip Rivers, now you seeing Matt Ryan. Why not get a Daniel Jones and see what he can do over there at the Colts, or have the Colts just groom their quarterbacks that they drafted? How long are you going to make them sit behind there to watch and not be there? So the Colts definitely would be a perfect spot for him. Um, if the Giants don't bring him back, which I don't think they will, then I think the Giants will be out trying to draft a quarterback. And again, the draft's coming up. We'll have some quarterbacks in that draft to look out for. So definitely, Washington could draft a quarterback. Now we didn't address that situation. Let me go back and look at the notes here. So what QB would you rather have? So we have Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Lamar Jackson. If you that's to say you wanted to start your franchise around, which QB would you want at the helm?
Whew, man, this is not easy here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let Coach go. I'm interested. See, I'm learning from Coach this morning. I want to learn from Coach. Coach, teach me.
You say what?
So if you had to start your franchise right now, who would you surround the team around? You want Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes?
That put me in this little tough situation. Look, it's easy, Patrick. You seen Patrick last night. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not going with Patrick though. That's an easy question. That's just because it's an easy question, but I'm not going with it because I don't want nothing to be easy. I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson, man. I just want to go with Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna just be on the opposite end. I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna build my franchise around Lamar Jackson. Give him some weapons, a running game, and use his strength, use his RPO and read option strengths, and you'll see you like I say, you see the real game, actual game break out. You'll start seeing the football come out a little more better. I'm gonna build my organization around Lamar Jackson. Anybody would love to build an organization around Patrick Mahomes, but I'm not trying to make it. I'm not making it an obvious answer though. But like I said, I'm taking Lamar Jackson, man. I just love those rushing quarterbacks, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of the RPO system. I'm a big fan of a quarterback that can use his legs, extend play. Patrick Mahomes could do that as well, but Lamar Jackson is just a stud at doing it. But when he has shown some stability. If he can beat you from the pocket, he has shown that. Actually, he has shown that he may can't do it consistently, much as Patrick Mahomes. But a quarterback like that that's athletic, that's hard to bring down, that can use his legs, that's tough to stop, man. But again, I'm gonna go with Lamar. For me, I'm
I'll
gonna
say
go with
I'll take the easy answer. For me, it's just Patrick, dude. Dude can't seem to avoid the NFC Championship game. He's always getting there. He's always having success in the playoffs. Dude's a proven winner at this point. He's got one of the best arm in the league. So I'll take Patrick's. To me, the stats and accolades and everything else back that up.
Listen here. Both of you are correct, but you're both wrong at the same time. I'm going with Josh Allen. I want a little bit of Lamar. I want somebody that can use his legs, that can be athletic, just like Lamar. Then I want somebody that can air it out like Patrick Mahomes, that can do the swagger stuff like a Patrick Mahomes so I'm going to Josh Allen. I see a mixture of Lamar and Patrick Mahomes together. He can do the same thing Lamar can do, but better. He can do what Patrick Mahomes can do, but better because he's a better athlete than Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going with Josh Allen.
Dude, Freddie had the best of both worlds there. You can definitely say that Allen is the best of both worlds of both of them. The running, the throwing, you combine all of them, you do get
But
with
King,
Josh
you know who
Allen.
I'm taking over all three of them?
Huh?
You know who I'm taking over all three of them though?
Oh God.
He's a bad, bad, bad man in Aaron Rodgers. I'm taking him over all of them. I don't care what nobody say. He's a bad brother. I love me some Aaron Rodgers.
You
I'll
sure
uh,
you're not you
I'll
sure
take
you're not
Aaron.
a Green Bay fan? Freddie?
Say it again.
You sure you're not a Green Bay fan and
No,
just
I'm a Rams
ain't
fan.
telling nobody?
I
No,
say
I'm a Rams.
I'll take Rodgers as long as I know we're not facing the 49ers in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's been his kryptonite.
All right, so question. So Mo has a question for us. He said, which QB is most likely to reach the Super Bowl this year, just based off the first 4 weeks?
You gotta see. That's a loaded question too because I want to go with Lamar because I believe he's having a hell of a year. But I know that defensive coordinators, and that defense, the way it's playing, is going to prevent him. So I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes. I trust the Chiefs more than I trust anybody right now. Just going to be honest with you. That defense, the weapons around them, the running games they have, that offensive line that's protecting them. I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes.
I 100% agree with that. With Buffalo, I think they have a good offense and their defense is solid as well. Their issue is actually the same as the Broncos. They have 5 fumbles this year, so they're not taking care of the ball either, just kind of like Denver's doing. So I think the Chiefs have been the most consistent out of the three teams. So I'll take Mahomes as well.
Dante?
I plead the fifth. For later during the season. I don't know pick a Super Bowl caliber team early in the season. I'll plead the fifth on that one.
No, coach, we gone.
No.
No, sir. I need an answer from you, coach. I need you, coach.
Dante said, nope, 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 nope,
You're not gonna give
no,
us nothing,
no.
coach. Come on, coach.
So it looks like the Patriots going to bring back linebacker Jamie Collins back to the team. Mind you, this is going to be his fourth time playing with the Patriots. I said I was not going to get into this topic, but it just seems like it's the talk of the dang on town.
I know it's something Freddie interested in. I know that's why this is a question. I gotta feel
No, it's a topic, and that's all you hearing. Dallas Cowboys with Cooper Rush being 4-0. So the question is, okay, he won. He's 4-0 as a quarterback. It just seems, that Cooper Rush plays better. Kellen Moore tends to him more with the play calling. It seems when Dak's in the game. Here's my thing. Let's just say if I didn't say they're not. Let's just say that Dallas goes and beats the Rams next week, and then you got Philly. Do you keep Cooper Rush in, or do you put in Dak? Since he's on the hot hand, do you take the hot hand out? I'm just saying, let's just say if they beat the Rams, which they're not, let's just say if they do and they get to Philly, do you keep a Cooper Rush in or do you put in a healthy Dak? Who wants to go?
I would play the hot hand if they beat the Rams. Let them play the Eagles. If anything, in week 7, the Cowboys draw the Lions. So if you want to bring Dak back, I'd consider doing it against a team like the Lions. But if Cooper Rush does beat the Rams, yeah, let him have the Eagles. And if he beats the Eagles, let him have the Lions. I would just ride the hot hand until, the wheels fall off.
Got Cooper clutch. Let's start Cooper in the first half. Dante, seriously, who would you ride Cooper? Like I said, let's just hypothetically say he goes in there and takes care of business with the Rams. Do you let him play Philly?
I will put back in Dak because that's exactly what they're gonna do. So I'm going with Dak. Cooper Rush is the hot hand, but let's be honest, they're gonna go back with Dak. So I'm gonna go with Dak.
Yeah, absolutely. They're paying Dak too much money. They're gonna go back to him at some point. But
Money talks, Dak playing like that, saying start Pollard over Zeke, which is not going to happen. What's ironic about this Dak Cooper thing is Dak got the job the same way they're talking about Rush doing it. Okay. Dak raises their ceiling. Freddie, what you think?
I love it. I love it. I love it even more when Jerry Jones come out and say, "Oh, I want a quarterback controversy." I love it so much. Listen here, ladies and gentlemen. People always tend to say, "Oh, a starting quarterback cannot lose his job." I don't. I disagree. Um, um, I disagree. We seen Tom Brady take a job due to injury. Listen, I'm starting Cooper Rush until he get hurt, until he loses a game. I'm rolling with him. The receivers connect with him more. That's just my belief.
Do you believe that Pollard is running better than Zeke right now?
No, I just think it's the system. I'm definitely okay with Zeke. I think Zeke is having a good year, and he's starting to turn it around these last couple games.
So, Brett, my question to you is it that it's not Cooper Rush, it's the defense that's keeping Dallas in these games?
that definitely helps. The defense has been doing great. It's I don't know how I want to say this because Cooper Rush is like a mixed bag. He's been playing really well, but at the end of the day, I don't want to discredit him at all. Is what I'm trying to avoid because, like Mo just said, the defense didn't score 25 points. Cooper Rush on the offense did, but the defense playing well plays into why Cooper Rush has been, so efficient. They're keeping the they're keeping the opposing defense on the field by taking the offense off, and that's allowing Cooper Rush and the offense to thrive facing a tired defense. So I think they're working perfectly in sync. In all reality, it's not one more than the other.
Dante, what do you think? Is Cooper Rush is it Cooper Rush winning these games or is it Dallas defense trying to keep them in
I
the
think
game?
I think you said it's Cooper Rush. Like I say, he's a part of this win, man. He's a part. He's a part of the win, man. He ain't got to. He's able to throw over 200 yards in a Giants game and stuff like that. Yes, he's a part of this win. You got to give credit to the Dallas Cowboys defense, but like I say, man, he's not turning the ball over. He's making smart decisions with his throws. Cooper Rush definitely is a part of this win. I'm not gonna exit out and saying the Dallas defense is carrying the guy. The guy is making some throws he has to make. The guy has chemistry with a lot of these receivers. He is doing one heck of a job. It's not like he's out there throwing 150 yards and just being a game manager is just being a dink and dump. Now these are throws, play action passes, throws, big time throws that he's making. So he's doing whatever he got to do to win. win the game. Cooper Rush is solid. He's a solid quarterback. He can be a starting quarterback with the right situation in this league. So again, I say, man, Cooper Rush is helping them win. Cooper Rush is a part of the win.
All right. So yesterday we did see Arizona defeat the Carolina Panthers. What is going on down there in Carolina with Matt Rule? And they traded for Baker Mayfield. Is it Baker Mayfield just can't adjust to Matt Rule, or what is it going on in Carolina that they just can't get up? They just can't get it together.
Well, Matt Rule is a terrible head coach. That's Matt Rule is just not a good head coach. And if this thing keeps going on, he can be fired mid-season. Not a big fan of Matt Rule. He's just a terrible head coach, and I don't think Baker Mayfield just got adjusted yet. I don't know if him and Matt Rule are on the same page, but Matt Rule is not a very good head coach. He's not a good head coach.
No, he is not. And on top of that, instead of having one good quarterback, they have two mediocre ones. Sam Darnold is, awful. Baker Mayfield is average, it seems like, and on his best day, he can get it going, but at the end of the day, he's mediocre. You put a bad coach with a mediocre quarterback. Christian McCaffrey spends more time on the injured reserve than anybody else in the league. So it's just a mix of bad coaching, poor quarterback play, and the rest of the weapons just not being able to stay healthy.
All right. Yeah, no, I do think. So, do you think it's time for a switch? Do you think they keep Baker Mayfield, or do you put in a PJ Walker? I don't know if Sam Donald is still on the injured reserve or not.
Um, honestly, I'd give PJ Walker a chance at this point. It's I don't have faith that the Panthers are really going anywhere. So you might as well just give your young guns a chance and see what they got. Only if he's ready, though. You don't want to throw him in too early and destroy his confidence. But if you get him ready and you think he's ready to handle an NFL defense, then yeah, absolutely, I'd put him out there and see what he's got.
So what is the Panthers record right now? They're 1-3.
You said what's the Panthers record?
No.
They are. Yeah, they 1-3.
So if they're about 2-8 or 2-9, I say you throw him in out. I say you throw him in out. You just gotta get him, and you're not going anywhere at that point. Just put PJ Walker in there and see what you got. Or next year, you may have to consider dropping the quarterback. You may have to. Oh, not bad. You got back from Rams. You just heard about that. I just thought about that. But you throw PJ Walker in there and give him an opportunity.
All right, so PJ Walker definitely should get a shot. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if Sam Darnold's off the list or anything, but Dante, you chopping up just a little bit, just letting you know what's going on there with your Wi-Fi. I know you said you was having little issues with it, but go ahead and we're going to move on here. So if you had to choose a team that improved from last year, who would it be? The Jets, the Seahawks, or the Lions?
Your Jets. I'm still chopping a little bit.
You good for now?
I'm going Jets. I'm gonna take the Jets. The Jets being competing, man. Joe Flacco. How about Joe Flacco? Joe Flacco doing the team against a victory against the Browns. How about Zach Wilson coming in, going in Pittsburgh, and beating Pittsburgh? Brees Hall scoring a game-winning touchdown. Garrett Wilson is promising. The defense is out there looking good. Gardner's looking good. Right now, I'm a big fan of Sauce Gardner. When people didn't like him in the draft, I'm a big fan of him. I think he's going to be fine, and he's holding up pretty solid right now. I like the Jets, man. Robert Saleh is a heck of a fucking head coach, man. This guy was a defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. He changed that defense around. This guy is a solid head coach.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I'd pick the Jets as well, and it is because Salah does seem to have this team prepared much better than the past iterations of the Jets we've seen. I say Sauce has been legit. Like you said, I wasn't too sure on him when he got drafted, but he's definitely proven me and probably a lot of people wrong. So I definitely have to pick the Jets. If anything, just because I think they picked the right head coach. I do like Salah. Zach Wilson has been looking, pretty solid under him. He got picked up a win with Joe Flacco there, which is impressive enough. That comeback against Cleveland was wild.
All right, and let me see here. Anything else from football? Um, we got the Patriots in Green Bay. That game did go into overtime yesterday. We all know Mac Jones got injured. Then they put in Brian Hoyer. He gets injured. I mean, he gets hurt. And then you can bring out Bailey Zappi from Western Kentucky, the rookie there. Do you think his job's in trouble, Mac Jones?
Um, Zappy looked impressive, but I don't think Mac Jones is in any trouble in losing his starting job yet. I think he's got to show that for a little bit before we start talking about any quarterback controversy in New England. Like I said, I was really impressed with him. I live in Milwaukee, so I watched the entire Packer game. Watched him break go right to the last minute in overtime. So I definitely like what I see from him, but I think he's got to do it for a couple more weeks at least before we start having that conversation.
Dante, what you think?
I think he's safe. I don't think he's in jeopardy of losing his job. I think he's good.
All right, and that was your NFL portion of the show here. So Ryan, as we discussed MVP at this point of the season, a lot of people still think it's going into the fifth week. Probably still too early to be talking about MVPs at this moment. But if I'm going to pick, I might can put Lamar up there. In the MVP talks, could be Josh Allen. Right now, it's still up for grabs at this moment, but it definitely looked like it's going to be a quarterback. I can't see a running back getting it or any wide receiver right now, but there's only week 5. Well, still week 4. Week 5 is coming up, so we definitely don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. But we do know NBA is back. NBA is back. We did have some games last night on the NBA's schedule. And I know Dante did watch the Houston Rockets. So Dante, what do you think about the Houston Rockets so far? I know it's only preseason, but what did you see from them so far?
They looked good last night, but again, I was hyped last night to see the team actually put play last night. But like I say again, it's preseason. I'm not getting too excited about it. But I was happy for what I seen last night. I mean, like I said, I know I said on Twitter, I don't care if it's preseason. We don't win a lot. But like I say again, Jabari Smith, it's just a performance we put up. Jabari Smith looks like he's a legit guy. Offensively and defense, 6'10", to be able to shoot that good and a look and shoot over people. Jalen Green looked phenomenal out there. KJ Mark looked phenomenal. The whole team looked good. Tyree Eason. I tried to go back and find the draft. What I literally said when he was on the board and he didn't get picked nowhere near 12, I literally said, "Let's get Tyree Eason." And when that thing came up, and she said, "Damn," say, I'm not gonna tell you, but damn, I hit that right on the head. Tyree Eason. I've been campaigning for this dude the whole draft process, and the Rockets got Tyree Eason. I was excited. This dude is a stud. He can shoot, plays elite defense. He hustles. He wants it out there, and I like Tyree Eason, and he's gonna be a backup. The point guard situation is interesting. Backup point guard between Tata Washington and Daishen Nix. I think Daishen Nix is going to win that battle. But Tata Washington is promising he's going to be in the G League. I like this team. And they were flying around last night. I know it was preseason, but they were flying around. They were flying around. San Antonio played half of their starters the whole entire basketball game, so that meant a lot, man. These guys out there flying around, but Jabari Smith, Tyrese, and those guys, man. And like I say again, Alp is a playmaker at that center position. Man, I can't wait to see my young guys go out there.
All right, and then tonight's game, we finally going to see Ben Simmons play against the Sixers. What do you think Ben's going to do tonight?
At the bare minimum, with Ben Simmons, you know you're getting elite playmaking and elite defense. It's been a while since he played, so I'm not going to say he's going to be elite, but he's at least going to give you great defense and great playmaking. I could see him dropping about 10 points, 4 rebounds, maybe like 4 assists in limited minutes. So it could be less because I don't think he'll play too much, but I think I'm going to go with right about there for Ben Simmons.
It's definitely going to be interesting to watch, especially he's coming back into Philly, and I know how us Philly fans can be towards him. So it's definitely going to be good just to finally see him out there, so we can see what he can do. He probably won't play that many minutes, but again, he'll still be on the court just to see what everybody does. And Mo did say shout out to the 36ers. They did beat the Sun last night, 134 to 124. And then you still had Ayton out there, Bridges, shooting, Devin Booker out there, and those guys still shooting up probably minutes and points. 22 points from Ayton. Chris Paul only had 6 points, 22 minutes beginning his preseason. But the Suns, they get beat by, I don't know what they had, G League team. I don't even know. I've never even heard of this team. I think it was a G League team. I'm not sure but they lost. But who's your NBA team? Do you have an NBA team?
So I'm from Milwaukee, so my team's always been the Bucks. But for 5 years, I did move to New York, so I did watch a lot of like Brooklyn Nets and New York Knicks games as well. But some other teams that I've always liked are like the Jazz and Nuggets. I've always enjoyed watching their games.
Okay, so Tyler Hero yesterday did get a 4-year extension with the Heat for 4 years, $130 million. Do you think he's worth it? I know he was reigning 6th man of the year. Do you think he's worth that contract?
So, to me, to start off that conversation, we got to keep in mind that apparently in a couple of years, new TV deal, which means a cap spike. So, right now, do I think he's worth it? No. Biggest reason for that is, so in the regular season, last year, for example, he scored 20. Year before that, he was at 16, which is impressive. He's a good scorer. My issue comes to when the playoffs hits, his points are dropping from 20 to 8, 16 to 9. So I always expect, some players' points to drop in the playoffs due to playoff defenses being tougher. But an 8-point drop is a little too drastic for me. His percentages all plummet. Not to mention he's a negative defender. He's shown playmaking chops. So do I think he's worth it right now? No, it looks like an overpay right now. But I think this is a great question to be revisited after that new TV deal signed and see how big the cap gets. Because it could be very well in a couple years that this is just the going rate for bench players, depending on how ridiculous that deal gets.
Now I do gotta admit there that he has been good. He has been the best. That's why he got 6th man of the year. He was the best coming off the bench, 20 plus points coming off the bench, definitely helping the Heat out. But he was non-existent in the playoffs. I understand he was hurt, but he still didn't contribute to getting the Heat to the next part of the playoffs. And also Duncan Robinson, y'all paying this man $90 million, and he didn't see not one lick of the floor again that playoffs. So I don't know if that was Spoelstra's dealing or you said the Wizards to the playoffs.
Wizards into the playoffs. That's going to be tough. The East got better. That that's going to be rough if they stay healthy and the right injuries happen to the right teams. I could see it, but I'm not really buying Heat to the play. I mean Heat, yeah. My bad. I'm not buying Wizards to the playoffs quite yet, but I think what I want to see from them more is I want to see how that Beal Porzingis duo is,
Mm-hmm.
because I can't pick them because their second best player is supposed to be Porzingis, but Porzingis can't stay healthy, and half the time when he does come in, he can be wildly inconsistent. So I'm not sold on Wizards to the playoffs quite yet, Mo. I'm sorry.
I actually do like Atlanta too. Atlanta getting Devontae Murray and to pair him with Trey Young. Now Trey Young doesn't have to all do him by himself. He still got Collins. If Capella can stay healthy, still got Capella. Kevin Herter's over there. So Atlanta is definitely going to be one of those teams in the East to watch out for as well. Dallas, Atlanta Clippers are going to go crazy this year. Now the Clippers can be in it if everyone stays healthy. We all know John Raw, his injury prone issues. Kawhi, the same thing, and PG. All three of them have issues staying on the court. If the Clippers stay on the court with that big three, would they be better than the Lakers?
Oh yeah, fit wise, absolutely. I say with the Clippers, you have Kawhi and PG. They both have 3 level range. They can play off each other. John Wall is going to be drawing the third best defender, so even if he has lost a step, he's not going to be forced to break down the best perimeter defender on the team. So I think he's going to have a good year. Plus, he started to show some improvement with catch and shoot jumpers. So, and for the Lakers, the fit there is just awkward. They don't seem to be ready to make the necessary sacrifices a big three needs to make to win a championship. Russ still, wants the ball in his hand on all the time. I think the Lakers can potentially get it together, but I think it starts with Russ. He needs to be more of a off-ball cutter and a corner three-point shooter. He actually shot 42% from the corner from three last year, is a stat I read. So I think the Clippers, that's. But
Man.
I do think the Clippers, they just fit better than the Lakers, and I'm just not sold on the Lakers. Anthony Davis, I need him to stay healthy, and the Lakers' most efficient lineup is going to be Anthony Davis at center. But in order for that to work, he needs to get his 3-point shot back. 19% last year wasn't good. I know he said he had a wrist injury, so I'm willing to, be patient with him. Let's see what happens this year because he never shot 19% before. But yeah, no, give me the Clippers over the Lakers.
All right, guys, before I bring this next person up, I just need y'all to get your hands together, clap it up, because we going to bring in Mr. Big Time himself. We got my guy Doug in the building. What's going on, Doug?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here briefly, momentarily, not for a long time. I don't even know what y'all talking about, but I just came in enough to hear Brett say that the Clippers are over the Lakers. Right then and there, I'm already irritated. I just want y'all to know that. I'm a Laker fan, so here I am. Of course, I don't know what you're talking about. I really made the mistake to come in. I pushed the wrong button, but since I'm here, I might as well say whoever this Mo Green is, whoever he is, God bless you. You're gonna be all right. You shouldn't have bet against the Cowboys. It's just that simple. It's your fault. You thought that the season was over when Dak went down. The season is not over. Actually, the season is going better than what we thought it would. That's all I need to say. Y'all see what's going on. That's all I got to say. I ain't gonna rub it in. It's just that for all of you people who said when Dak went down, the season is over, please understand you're not talking about nothing. Y'all have a good morning, all right? God bless you.
So, Doug, the question was if the Clippers stay healthy, We got Kawhi Leonard, PG, Paul George, and John Wall. Could they be better than the Lakers? That was the question. That's what you hopped in on.
But they're not. I mean, but if we were playing NBA 2K3, yeah, I get a Clippers. I get a Clippers. Well, no, because at least on the game, Anthony Davis plays like Anthony Davis. LeBron is still LeBron. So, it really all boiled down to the supporting roles, the others. So I have to see I'm not familiar with what the Clippers have that surrounding Kawhi and Paul George. But I will say this: if Kawhi is healthy, there's not too many people better that's playing ball. I'm just I've seen enough. He's special. Um, Paul George is a good number two, but LeBron is still LeBron until I see age get him. And then, if Anthony Davis plays like a monster, he will be unstoppable. So that on that case, you got to find the other. So I'm not aware of what the Clippers have surrounding them. So I really can't answer that question, to be honest with you.
All right, Doug. Since you up here, the Cowboys is in the news again, but there's 4-0 with Cooper Rush. But the hot topic of the day at hand was, let's just say hypothetically, y'all go and beat the Rams, and you got Philly week 6. Do you keep the hot hand and ride with Cooper Rush until the wheels fall off, or do you bring back Dak?
Bring
You,
back Dak
you,
Prescott.
you're the Cowboys guy, so let's hear it from you.
Bring back Dak Prescott, without a doubt. It's not even a conversation. It's not even it's just not. The disrespect for Dak has went to an all-time high. Uh, it to the point where we're talking about a multiple time Pro Bowler over a guy who's only played 5 games. That's how bad the disrespect is. This is total disrespect. You're paying a man $40 million a year, comparing him to a guy that has been cut by multiple teams, has been re-signed and all that. And I'm not trying to knock on Cooper Rush because he has played well, no doubt about that. He has played well. I don't want to take nothing from him, but we're talking about a guy who's only throwing for 220 yards a game. Give me a break now. Let's not act like the man is throwing for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. He just has not made the mistake. That's all Cooper has done. He has played well. We ran the ball a whole lot. Whoever Ryan is here, he's 100% the truth. What Cooper Rush has done, and to his credit, I don't think that he will ever go without a job again. He's made a lot of money in these last probably 4 games or so. He's proven that he needs to go through. If he gets put on waivers, he will not make it through waivers again. He will get picked up by a team for a backup quarterback job. But let's not act like in 4 games you're gonna put all your eggs in one basket with Cooper Rush disrespecting Dak for the last few years. When Dak is ready, put him in the game. It's just that simple.
So you would put Dak in against the Rams. So Cooper Rush time's over.
When Dak is ready, but everybody keep talking about the thumb. The thumb, however, it's easy to do it in shotgun. But if you're a Cowboy fan, you've already heard that the swelling won't go down. Well, just imagine him putting his hands on the center and now getting the height
Hmm.
ball. I mean, the ball between the center there, and steadily taking that beating there on that hand, on his thumb. It can't feel good. So till he can take snaps, that's when you bring him in. It's easy to catch it out of shotgun, but what happens when he gets on the center? That's gonna tell the tale. And until the swelling, he has no swelling. That's when he should enter the game. So if that means this week, I think that Cooper ought to play against the Rams only by default. He needs to play against the Rams. We'll revisit when we play Philly. After that, but this week, nah. Yeah, it is. We don't want to hurt him for the rest of the year. Go ahead and let him make sure there's no swelling. It is what it is. We're gonna find out about how really good Cooper Rush is this week if he lines up against the Rams. Washington ain't nothing to talk about. The Giants ain't nothing to talk about. We beat them. Cincinnati may have we can give a little credit to that. But now you about to go against the Rams in Philadelphia. Now you about to see what's getting ready to go on to going on with Cooper Rush. That's all I'm saying.
So Doug, so is Philly the team to beat in the East?
Who?
Is Philadelphia the team to beat in the East?
Right now, y'all look all right, but y'all, we don't crown champions in October. That's what y'all used to tell us. Y'all used to tell the Cowboy fan, we don't crown champions in there. We got a long way to go. Y'all better hope y'all stay healthy. You better hope y'all stay healthy. We better hope we stay healthy because the wrong somebody in your lineup go down, it's gonna be a problem. I have said about Jalen Hurts, he reminds me of Jimmy Garoppolo from the standpoint of that sooner or later the game is gonna have to go into his hands only. It ain't gonna be you can lean on the running game and the defense. You're gonna be down and you got to say, okay, we're in a 3 or 4 minute drill and you got to pass the ball. And the game is going to fall into his hands exclusive. It's not going to happen often. It'll be about 2 or 3 times in the season. The question still remains in crunch time. Can he do it? I don't know that yet. I don't believe it. Long as y'all defense playing well, long as your running game is going well, it hides Jalen Hurts. We gonna find out long as he's a front runner, oh, he's good. When the chips are down, though, let's find out then. It may not happen but once or twice, but it's gonna get you when it counts, though.
Brett, what you think?
I do agree with the statement that division champions aren't crowned in October. There's still a long way to go. As of right now, the Eagles have looked like one of the best teams in football at this point. They're just clicking right now. But hey, Dante. Yeah, no. With the whole Cooper Rush and Dak, I was saying earlier, big time. I do know that they're going to put Dak in at some point, and I figure maybe the perfect matchup to put him back in is Week 7 against Detroit. But if you need him sooner, use him sooner. But I think maybe that would be the best matchup to kind of ease him in, back into the offense. If Cooper Rush manages to beat the Rams, let him face the Eagles, and if he see if he can beat them, and then just ease Dak back into it against a lesser team like the Lions. I didn't know if you would agree with that statement or
that is the thing that Cooper Rush / Kellen Moore has afforded the Cowboys to do. It does not force Dak back. Trust me, if they would have lost yesterday or either the Giant game, it would have been real hot, and they would have tried to force him back. But with every win that Cooper Rush brings, it is not a rush at all. I mean, no pun intended, but it is really not a rush. Uh, Cooper Rush has done a job. He's, as Ryan said in the comments earlier, he has managed the game pretty much as best as you can do it. Kellen Moore deserves some credit, y'all. If you watch my show, you know how I killed Kellen Moore. It forced him to run the football finally. Even though we didn't run the ball well yesterday, we ran it 28 times. I think we only had 60 some odd yards between Pollard and Zeke, but the commitment to run the ball was there. And as long as you do that, it opens up. When you look at the pass that CD caught yesterday, it was like, God dang, how are you so wide open?
Mm-hmm.
That's because you still had to respect the run. And all it was just a simple fake. CD just Looked like he was out there by himself, wide open. So that's what the running game does. Kellen Moore was not doing that with Dak Prescott in the game. Dak would throw it 40 times. You'll look at the box score with our running backs. The running backs would only run the ball total 15 times a game. If Kellen Moore brings in that same mentality, same commitment to the running game, you're going to see some points being scored. A lot of them throws that Cooper Rush missed, Dak will complete. That's all I'm going to say.
No, absolutely. I think that's a great point. That they just need a better balance with Dak in there and not just try
Yeah.
to rely on his arm. I know you're paying him 40 million, but that doesn't mean he needs to make 40 throws a game.
Yeah. And as long as our defense is playing like they are right now, which is lights out, it's going to be a problem for somebody. That's all I'm going to tell you. We're going to get to your quarterback. I'm just going to say that right now. This pass rush cannot be stopped. It's just that simple.
Dante, you think the Eagles is the team to beat in the East right now?
As of right now, but do I think Dallas could beat them? Yes, I do think Dallas could beat them. Can end up being a team that can beat them. I think Dallas still going to make the playoffs. I got Dallas still making the playoffs in a wild card spot. So again, like I say, I told everybody, every Dallas fan is. I don't like Dallas. I hate Dallas, but gotta give them credit, man. They good. They're a good football team, man. They're a great football team, man. Their defense are good. DeMarcus Lawrence impressed me against the Giants. When he took Evan Neal to school. You got Michael Parsons getting to the quarterback, put constant pressure on your quarterback. So if there's any team I think that can beat them in the NFC East, is going to be Dallas, and I think Dallas will do that. I think I got Dallas winning in Dallas. Beat them in Dallas. I got a split, but I think Dallas could definitely beat them, and they could be one of those teams that can make a wild card spot. Now I don't know how far they're going to go, but they definitely can beat. If it's any team that can beat them, it's going to be Dallas.
So Doug, Mo says, is Gallup the number two or is it Noah Brown?
Let me put it this way. I think you got to look at the Cowboys as far as receiver goes as a 3 wide receiver setup. And what Noah Brown has done, it has eliminated James Washington. Now, nobody even can call out his name no more. Noah Brown should be the 3rd receiver, but here's the thing. You put Noah Brown on the outside and Gallup on the outside. Remember what happened yesterday. The reason why CD caught the ball yesterday was that touchdown was caught in the slot. You put CD in the slot. You put Noah Brown and Gallup on the outside. CD would kill anybody in the slot. So that's the purpose. But to answer your question, I think really your question ought to be, Mo, is does Noah Brown deserve playing time now? And the answer to that is without a doubt, yes. He could do it all the time. He just needed opportunity. You got to keep in mind, last year it was it was Cooper, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and then Cedric Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
So Noah Brown was nowhere to be found, like that. Now he just needed opportunity. So yeah, he deserves to be up there now.
So Doug, I know NBA season starting up. I know you're a Lakers fan, but any teams that you like, you see coming out of the East and the West to be worried about?
Yes. Look, as long as those guys are healthy there, it's crazy, Mason. It ain't crazy. It's just that a lot of people don't forget. Look, as long as Brooklyn got Kyrie and Durant and now Ben, all he got to do is play defense and be a facilitator. That's all he has to do. He don't have to score. And they got sharp shooting. Joe Harris. Look, Brooklyn's going to be a problem as long as they're healthy. It's just too much. Sooner or later, you're going to have to outscore them. And there aren't too many teams that can outscore Brooklyn if they're there. That's the one that's out east that nobody really is just giving credit for. The West is wide open, man. I will say this. If James Wiseman, who's here from Memphis, which is where I am, if James Wiseman comes and play like I think he is, the Golden State Warriors are going to be almost unbeatable. I hate to say it, but that's the only thing that's left. I mean, Steph is going to be Steph. I expect Clay to be better than what he was another year from the injury. Draymond is going to do what he does. Uh, they got what's the young man name? The guard that Poole, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's
Jordan
only going
Poole.
to get better. You got Wiseman now. I mean, they have reloaded in a sense. They got the number 2 pick in the draft, which was James Wiseman a couple years ago. It's going to be hard, but other than that, a lot of this stuff, man, everybody here is really going to be dependent on injuries. I mean, if Kawhi's healthy, look out. If LeBron and AD can stay healthy, look out. How Kawhi is kept. If Jamal Murray and Joker and no, I mean the Joker get loose. I mean, good lord, they can do damage. It's just a lot of stuff depending on injuries. Don't forget about Phoenix out there as well. Phoenix is still dangerous. So the West is wide open, but I really don't see nobody beating Brooklyn if they're if they're there. Let me just say,
Not even the Bucks.
nah. You got to score. You got to if they're healthy, and I understand some teams play great defense, but are you going to be able to shut down Durant and Kyrie, who can put 30 on you, without a doubt? Philadelphia, I'm sorry, I forgot about Philly. Philly is dangerous as well. If Harden is right, Philly is really dangerous. They're up there too. But it's going to be hard to outscore Brooklyn, especially you can just see it, the draw in and then the kick out. They go Joe Harris just sitting there at the 3. They still got Morris who can shoot the 3 out there. I mean, they got some problems that's gonna have to be addressed real quick. And if Ben Simmons go double digits, look out. I mean, come on, man.
I was gonna say that I do like that Brooklyn team. I think the only I, I'm from Milwaukee, so of course I have to say that the Bucks can beat them. But in all reality, I do think that the only thing that's going to stop Brooklyn is themselves
Yeah,
with off-court issues,
yeah,
chemistry issues. Like on paper, Joe Harris, T.J. Warren, Claxton, that team looks deep as
yeah.
any other team in the league. But the only question to me is how's the chemistry? How are they going to handle all the drama and the offseason? The offseason, KD's trade requests, and Kyrie's inevitable missing games for personal reasons.
Kyrie's inevitable blow up is gonna happen. So I mean, I agree with you 100% on that. It's really about Kyrie, to be honest. Durant, at least he don't really bring a lot of drama except on his Twitter page. And when he get on the court, it's not an issue. Kyrie is a problem from when the time he wake up in the morning. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely.
So
Key, I
Don
gotta
said,
get out of here, man. Key, I gotta get out of here, sweetheart.
all right, so that was my guy Doug from the Big Time Show. Make sure y'all
Tonight,
follow him.
tonight, 7 o'clock. Tonight, 7 o'clock. The big time show tonight. We talking about the Cowboys win, more in depth. Get ready for it. If you don't follow me, well, Key will tell you. Go on, tell him, Key. Big time show. Follow it on YouTube, Facebook page. It's all there.
Definitely. The links in the description if y'all want to follow Doug. Make sure y'all follow him. Come on back here later on both. Again, we're live on both channels. We're on the Spotlight Sports Network and the Sports Empire Network, and we live and simultaneously. And he will definitely be on both channels later on tonight. But here goes the Mo question real quick before we move on. Can Chicago can match Brooklyn if Chicago gets their chemistry and stay healthy? Is that what do you think about that?
So Chicago is an interesting team. My biggest issue with Chicago, he mentioned injuries, and to me, the issue with Chicago as to why I think that's false is the fact that Lonzo Ball can't get healthy. Lonzo Ball has been a big factor to their success on offense. He shot over 40% from 3 last year for them. He helped keep the floor space for DeRozan. Levine, he's devastating in transition. He kind of helps unlock that offense, but without him, Without him, you replace him with Caruso, but then after that, you're real thin on defenders. And with Ben Simmons, they also have Claxton. They at least have some defensive options that they can throw out there. So I think Brooklyn has a defensive edge on Chicago that puts them over Chicago, and they're better on offense as well. I just don't really see a scenario in which Chicago is as good as Brooklyn, as long as Brooklyn can stay on the same page.
Dante?
Yeah, I don't really see it. I think Brooklyn is still going to better team, even with Alonzo Ball. I still think Brooklyn will be the. I still will take Brooklyn over Chicago. I still will take Boston. I still will take Miami. I think Chicago. Um, I know they got Andre Drummond. He's going to come off the bench for him. That's a good piece. But I still think those top four teams are still better than Chicago. Still better than the Chicago Bulls. Even if Ball was healthy, I would still take those teams.
Absolutely. Even if Ball was healthy, I still don't think they're top four. He's just had to mention him because he's just so big to that offense. What does Charlotte need to get to the next level? That that's an
Y'all
interesting
know
question right there.
Charlotte just got Leangelo
Sorry.
Ball, the middle ball brother, to play with Lonzo. But yeah, what does Charlotte do need to get to the next level?
I'm not. So the issue with them is they just lost, as we probably all know, they lost Miles Bridges. They just lost their best two-way scorer. LaMelo's. They still have LaMelo, which is good. They still don't have a center. I'd like to see them replace Bridges' production at small forward. That's going to be big. That's going to be hard to do because he was giving you 15 or 20 a game and giving you a great two elite defense. So give I think they need to get a replace Bridges, get a small forward. They've needed a center for forever. Maybe they develop that rookie they drafted. I think it was Mark Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he can maybe he can develop into into that center of the future. But like Ryan just commented, a trade for Miles Turner too would be good. So I really think an upgrade on the wing and at the big spot, not to mention, their bench could use some work. So it's probably going to take a couple more years, but I think they're on the right track. They've been pretty good with their picks and everything the last few years outside of that Gordon Hayward signing. So
Dante, what you think?
I still think they're gonna be a play-in tournament team, but nothing more, nothing less. They clearly need help. You just gotta hope they develop. Mark Williams, the center out of Duke, the 6'11" center out of Duke. They still will need center help. Plumlee hasn't gotten a job done at the center position. Miles Bridges, who was planning on getting a big contract, he kind of messed that over with his domestic violence case. So. Terry Rozier is a 20-point per game scorer, but outside of him and Alonzo Ball, you still don't have enough. Gordon Hayward is not being able to stay on the floor either. So it doesn't help. It doesn't help it at all. They're going to be a borderline playing tournament team. Nothing more, nothing less. They're no threat in the Eastern Conference. Lonzo Ball is going to be, LaMelo Ball is going to be frustrated. It was already rumors that he's really, really frustrated with the organization and the direction that they're going in. Now, think about if he gets more and more frustrated and they don't make a play-in tournament, or they make a play-in tournament and keep getting bounced out the way they do, you can see him demanding a trade or wanting to go into a different direction. And right now, they did bring back Steve Clifford, the ex-head coach for Charlotte, who did get them over the hump 1 year to a playoff spot, but I don't believe he's going to be enough. I don't believe this team is just good enough. I just think they're good enough to be in the play-in tournament. That's it. I don't think they're good enough.
And then Blake Griffin did go to Boston. Do you think that move was pulled in just because they're not going to have Williams for a couple weeks? Or would he be a good bench player, come off the bench?
So from before what I was seeing before they signed Griffin, a lot of Celtics fans some of the fans were clamoring for him to sign Melo, and then they signed Griffin, and it was I saw some debate if they should have signed Melo instead. But to me, Blake Griffin is the better fit for that Celtics team right now, and a lot of that stems from the fact that he is 6'9", and he grades out as a slightly positive defender. and without Rob Williams, that's just huge right now. And he's an underrated passer from the big spot. He'll give you 4 assists, and didn't shoot well from three last year. He only hit 26% of his threes, but the year before that, he was at about 38. He's a 32% shooter. So I think it was out of necessity, and I think they made the right move because they at least replaced some of the passing that they lost with Williams at center, because I do think Williams was an underrated passer at center. And they also replaced some of the defense. Blake Griffin isn't going to be Rob Williams, but at least they now have somebody who grades out as a positive at center.
Dante, what you think about the Blake Griffin signing?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a depth piece. I think he's a depth piece for Robert Williams when he gets back healthy and when he's out there on the floor. He can come in, give Robert Williams a little breather. I still think the Celtics, or even without Ime Udoka, I still think they can be they're top two team in the Eastern Conference. I think their defense is going to be very good enough. I think the ball pressure that was on Brooklyn, I don't think they shut down Kevin Durant individually, but I think they shut him down as a team. They did team. That was team defense on Kevin Durant and Kyrie. So they're gonna have the team defense. They're gonna be there at the top of the. They're gonna be number 2 or number 3 at the top of the Eastern Conference. Malcolm Brogdon is a huge pickup, something they desperately needed as a point guard. But Malcolm Brogdon got to better stay on the court. If he can stay on the court, that can be another big plus for them. And Danilo Gallinari also give them that experience, give them that 6'10" vibe, that shooting, being able to post up, shoot over people, add some more leadership in that locker room. I think Boston is fine, and I think Blake Griffin is going to be more of a depth piece in case Robert Williams go down. And in case and now Robert Williams is hurt right now, he's going to be fit right in really, really well. You don't have to be the 20-point per game Blake Griffin anymore. You got Tatum and Brown that can go out there and do all that, and Malcolm Brogdon who can facilitate and shoot pretty well on the offensive side of the ball. And you got that emotional leader, the Draymond Green, basically of the Celtics, and Marcus Smart.
I'll say I do agree with the whole Danilo Gallinari thing. Like, I know he tore his ACL in FIBA, so he might not even play this year.
I keep forgetting to his stuff. My bad. I keep forgetting that part.
You're good, but I even then I still think that he could be a good mentor, a good coach. He knows how to get buckets. He's averaging between like 15 and 20 a game. So there's some young guys on this team that I still think he could be a good mentor, and let him build up that strength, and he can still be a productive piece next year.
Yep. He still can be a good locker room guy. Yep, I agree.
Mo did bring up a good point about the rookies in summer league we've been looking at, and I know one of them, Kenny Lofton Jr. for Memphis. Watch out for that kid there. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's too big. He's overweight." Kenny Lofton Jr. is going to be special, and him playing with John Morant when it comes time to, because I know he's on a 2-way deal where he can go in the G League and play with Memphis. But watch out for Kenny Lofton Jr., but I'm not sure who the other rookie is he's talking about. But Kenny Lofton,
I know the other rookie. I know the other rookie. I know Kennedy Chandler. Kennedy Chandler is the other rookie.
Oh, from Tennessee?
Yeah, from Tennessee, co-spotlight point guard. Kennedy Chandler is pretty solid.
So, yeah, but definitely watch out for definitely Kenny Lofton, because the other night he had like 19 points. I forget his stat line from the other night, but he definitely is going to be good. And one other question before we close things out here. Do y'all agree with Harbaugh going for the touchdown and not tying the game up?
Oh, man. No. At that point, your offense has turned the ball over already. Your defense is, at the end of the day, I know your defense is struggling. So I understand where he's coming from, that, go for the win. Or, not the win, but, go ahead by, like 4 points or whatever it would have been, instead of just kick a field goal and tie the game. But, you have Justin Tucker. That's an automatic 3. I probably would have kicked the 3 and trusted my defense. Now, granted, with that defense, it probably would have backfired, and that's okay. I personally would have played it safe and at least tied the game.
Hold on. The only bold prediction that hit on Sunday was the interception from Jalen Hurts. That we all said he was going to throw an interception, but just not the Leonard Floyd. Go ahead, Dante.
There's two ways you can go with this, like he said, but you at the goal line. This is how you put it out. You at the goal line. You trust your quarterback, and that's when you trust your quarterback, Lamar Jackson. And he showed that last year when he got the game-winning first down against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's just more having trust in his quarterback. But also when your defense is not doing great and can't stop anybody at that point, you're gonna have to coach. You're gonna have that type of lapse and saying, "Hey, we're gonna go for it. We're not gonna allow our defense to get up out the field, knowing they cannot really stop anybody. Knowing Josh Allen caliber. I'm not trying to get the ball back to Josh Allen in overtime and let him win the football game." So I mean, you can go either way with that. You can kick the field goal, or you can either go for it because you have trust in your offense that your offense can pound it in the end zone. You can go both ways with that. Your defense, like I said, their defense have not performed well this season at all. So it's so that could be put in that situation that I'm not trusting my defense to go out there and stop Josh Allen, and knowing Josh Allen just came back down from 17-3 from 20 at that point. That offense is high. I'm trying to get this game over with and not give Josh Allen the football. Unfortunately, hey, it backfired on him. Does that mean it's the wrong call? No, it doesn't mean that's the wrong call. It's just good defense by the Buffalo Bills. But you can go either way. You can kick the field goal. Yeah, one of the best kickers in the game, but he tried to get the game over with. He didn't want to see Josh Allen again with the football if he tied the game up. Because he knowing his defense wouldn't hold up. You can go either way with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with that. There definitely wasn't a wrong call. He's going to get criticized either way if it goes wrong. Regardless, if he kicks the field goal, Alan Martin, why didn't you go for the touchdown? Oh, I definitely agree with that. So that was good.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're definitely gonna wrap it up here. We got another morning after NFL coffee and sports morning shows in the books. Appreciate y'all who was in the chat. Definitely. Brian, appreciate you. Make sure you come on back. I appreciate you. Definitely come on back tomorrow. It's an office day for me tomorrow, so I will not be in the building, but Freddie and these guys will be back tomorrow morning. But I'll be in the chats and the comments as well. Again, we're simulcasting on two networks. We're on the Spotlight Sports Network and we're on Sports Empire Network. So make sure y'all subscribe to both channels. Again, the links are in the description. And the Spotlight Sports Network are teamed up with SeatGeek. So if you do like your concerts, your sporting events, make sure you go to SeatGeek.com. Put the promo code Spotlight Sports Network in there to save $20 off your first ticket. Also, we're partnered up with Fanatics. It is Salute the Soldiers time. So you want your Salute the Soldiers gear. The link's in the description as well for Fanatics. But Brett, tell people where they can find you.
So I actually run my own basketball podcast. It's called Guardy 3. You can follow that on Facebook, and you can also listen to the podcast on Anchor or Spotify. It's just GARD instead of the I. It's GARDI, but instead of the PEE, it's just the letter 3, or the number 3. So you can find me on there as well.
All right, y'all. So Coach, you can find Coach everywhere. He's always everywhere, whether it's his channel, the Spotlight Sports Network. He is everywhere. And y'all know me. I'm Key, and I'm always in the building. We will see y'all tomorrow on another live stream. So make sure y'all be good. And again, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And if you do go and do it, just make sure you do it safely. Just enjoy the rest of your afternoon, guys.
And that's Astros do play the Phillies today, y'all. I'm just playing.
Oh, Lord. We're not going to talk about the Phillies, Dante. Thank you. All right? We'll see what's going to happen with them tonight. But we got to get out of here, guys. See y'all later.